You think she's yours because she says she loves you, because she cooks for you, because she falls asleep on your chest, posts pictures of you with hearts, and tells the world you're her man. You think she's yours because one night she cried in your arms and swore she could never lose you. But here's the slap of reality: she's not yours. She never was. It's just your turn. And the moment you forget that truth, the moment you start believing her loyalty, her attention, her body belong to you like a possession, that's the moment you start building your masculinity on sand. Because one day, that same woman will shift. She will laugh less at your jokes. She will go cold. She will stop reaching for your hand. And you will sit there, confused, calling it betrayal. But it isn't betrayal. It's biology. It's evolution. It's the way attraction works. And if you don't understand this one brutal fact, you will keep getting crushed by an illusion that was never guaranteed in the first place. So let me rip the mask off right now. Let me tell you the truths men don't want to face but need to hear. 1. She belongs to the moment, not the man. You think she's yours because she sleeps in your bed, whispers your name, uploads selfies with you on her story, calls you her man. But listen carefully, she doesn't belong to you. She belongs to the moment you represent. It's not your name, not your promises, not your good heart that binds her. It's the energy you embody right now. Her loyalty isn't carved in stone, it's written in wet ink. And ink smudges. It fades. Sometimes, it vanishes overnight. Her desire isn't a logical equation. It isn't bound by duty. It's tied to feeling. And feelings are temporary. 1 week you are her safe place. The next week, you're a mirror reminding her of what she's outgrown. 1 month, you're the man she can't get enough of. The next month, you're background noise in her DMs.
Why?
Because you were never her possession. You were just her current obsession. Her emotional drug. Her high. And like any drug, the effect fades. Most men don't see this coming. They confuse intensity with permanence. They think passion means forever. They think tears mean devotion. They think love today is a guarantee for tomorrow. But it's not. Because when the thrill turns routine, when the mystery fades, when you stop representing the energy she craves, she detaches. Not because she's evil, but because that's how her biology protects her from stagnation. She doesn't stay with the man who was good. She stays with the man who stays relevant to her current emotional world. And here's the truth most men ignore: you're not competing with other men. You're competing with her evolving desires. That's why you think she changed. But she didn't. She evolved. And if you didn't evolve with her, she's already gone. Mentally first, then emotionally, then physically. That's why breakups feel like death. Because you're not just grieving her, you're grieving the man you used to be when she wanted you.
Oh.
You were never her only option, just her favorite distraction. Let this sink in: you weren't her only choice. You were just the most exciting choice at the time. And that truth stings because men live in delusion. You want to believe you were her one and only. But the reality: every woman has options. Visible or invisible, direct or indirect, tested or waiting in the shadows. She has orbiters, exes, co-workers, just friends who'd risk it all for a single green light. Fans who wait silently for a crack in your armor. So when she said, "You're the only one I want," she meant it in that moment. But desire isn't permanent. It's conditional. It's built on how you carry yourself right now. When you stop being that man, you fade. And someone else comes into focus. Women don't switch interest like a light switch. It's gradual, silent, strategic. First, her texts get slower. Then she's busy more often. Conversations feel colder, and you can't explain why. Then she says she needs space, she wants to focus on herself, she feels disconnected. But the truth: she's already emotionally attached somewhere else. Maybe not physically, but emotionally. And that's enough. Because women chase emotions, not logic. When her emotions fade with you, they rise with someone else. Maybe it's the man who isn't always available. The one who makes her feel mysterious again. The one who doesn't hand over his entire life on a silver platter. That man becomes her new favorite distraction. And you're left wondering what you did wrong. The truth. You forgot she had options. And you stopped being the best one. You gave her all your time, your energy, your focus, without keeping any for yourself. You became predictable. And predictability kills desire. But the man who protects his mystery, who invests in himself, who doesn't make her the center of his universe, that's the man she cannot forget. Even if she's with someone else, she remembers him. Because he was fire. And you burned out. 3. If you think you own her, you will destroy yourself. Possession is the illusion. She holds your hand. She introduces you to her parents. She calls you baby, sleeps in your bed, tells you she's never leaving. And your mind lies to you, she's mine. I earned this. I own this. But here's what most men never see. The moment you start believing she belongs to you, you stop being the man she fell for.
Why?
Because ownership breeds entitlement. And entitlement is the death of attraction. When you think she's yours, you stop watching. You stop listening. You stop sharpening yourself. You assume. You get comfortable. And comfort is where masculinity rots. It's where polarity dies. It's where desire shrivels and routine takes over. She doesn't want to be owned. She wants to be chosen, again and again, by a man who never stops evolving. The second you treat her like a prize you already won, you stop earning her. And the second you stop earning her, she starts looking elsewhere. And when she leaves, you will feel betrayed. You will rage. You will spiral. Because in your head, she was yours. But she never was. She was only present for a season, a chapter, a moment. Instead of accepting that reality like a man, most guys break. They beg. They stalk. They plead. They threaten. And in doing so, they destroy whatever masculine presence they had left. Because the more you cling, the more you bleed. And women don't chase blood, they chase strength. They chase power. Here's the truth. You cannot own a woman. You can only invite her into your frame. And she will stay only as long as that frame is strong. If your values collapse, if your confidence decays, if your frame bends, she's gone. And if your identity was built on her, you collapse with her. But if your identity is built on yourself, on your purpose, your craft, your growth, then she becomes a bonus, not a lifeline. And when she leaves, you don't crumble. You rise. You grow. You sharpen. Because the Stoic man knows, she was never mine. It was just my turn. The final truth. It was never about forever. It was about alignment. About energy. About who you were in that moment. You mistook time for truth. You mistook comfort for permanence. She didn't betray you, she evolved. And you tried to possess what was never yours to own. So now you have two choices. Cling to the fantasy, or become the man who never needs the fantasy again. Because when you detach from the illusion of ownership, when you embrace the reality that no woman is truly yours, you stop fearing loss. And when you stop fearing loss, you become the one thing no woman can control. A man who cannot be broken. A man who is chosen, but never owned. A man who says goodbye without flinching. Because in the end, she was never yours. It was just your turn. Backhand index pointing right. If you've ever watched a woman fade while you held on tighter, drop one line in your mind, she was never mine. And let that be the day you finally wake up.